in the way this society, that the Western world, where I come from, education,
Yeah.
rationality is like the highest ideal. Like to be the smartest, to be the most intelligent, to be this, to
Yeah.
be that, and no problem. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to be the smartest, or to be this and to be that, and to overstimulate our brains. But I don't think any teacher that I've met or anybody that I know in this part of the world knows even how to be thoughtless. Like what is thoughtless? Like how because you're so used to thinking all the time, right?
Yeah.
Like what is it to be thoughtless? Like we probably get it when we're on a beach somewhere, when we're lying down, and like then you're at peace in those
Yeah.
moments.
And
But
then make the mistake of thinking that it's that thing, that activity that made you happy, but it was actually the effect it had on your mind.
yeah, exactly. And I always say, like, I wrote this in my book. Like, it's, as you said, it's the absence of stress that gives you
Yeah.
joy, right?
Yeah.
So, but what we do, we move, we go holiday, or we buy a bigger car, or we do,
Yeah.
we make that as an action. If I go on
Yeah.
holiday, my stresses will stay in London and I'll be in
Yeah.
Jamaica. But you always have to come back. So instead of changing our destination, if you just, as you said quite eloquently, remove that stress, then you have the joy, right? But how do you remove stress in a society built on stress? Tell me, you Miss Yoga teacher, how do I be stress free?
Oh, hitting the nail on the head right
Yeah,
now. Stress is self-created, whether you believe it or not. There are things that can definitely increase your stress, that increase all of our stresses, and managing those things is important. It's definitely important to know that I cannot, work for 16 hours. Like, yes, you will be stressed, but that's when I talk about like choice as well. Like, you do need to be responsible for your lifestyle and acknowledge that you're a human with a body and a mind and a heart, and you need certain things. So that's one part of stress, which is like the part you can control.
mm,
And the second part, the part you can't control, was the first part. The second part is the part that you can. And most of our stress is literally made up. And we are, first of all, burned out and way too fast paced, but that leads us to making poor decisions, and that makes us in more of a troubling situation. So like starting to like stop and be like this is what I need to de-stress. Like, acknowledge that you get stressed, acknowledge the presence of stress, because
mm,
if you did, then you would be taking like a pill every 2 hours. By pill, I don't mean a literal pill, I mean something that's going to de-stress you. You need to do that, because if you have a stressful lifestyle, you're not like living on a beach or a farm and surrounded by nature and it's slow, and then you need to do even more to
mm.
eliminate or just come back to yourself and calm down. So there's amazing, like super easy things you can do, like stopping for 5 minutes and doing breath awareness, or meditating on your favorite song, or just like being more playful in your life, like starting to like, you know what, I'm gonna take an hour, I'm gonna join a Zumba class, or I'm gonna start coloring in my book and spend time with art.
Mm.
um, you need to do these things. So that's called stress management. And then the real thing which you like touched upon is changing your responses, changing your thoughts about things, changing the negative tendencies that we have, and creating a space for stillness, non-judgment, non-fear, for confidence, for peace. That comes from your inner work.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends that have extremely hectic lifestyles when it comes to being in the office or being like in their workplace for 8, 9, 10, maybe 14, 16 hours a day. And
Yeah.
as you said, like an hour yoga class might not be for them just because of their schedule. So these 5 minutes that you said, like the 5 minute breathing exercise and stuff like that, does it
Yeah.
have can it have effects on your calmness and your stillness? Like just 5 minutes?
30 seconds has an effect on your stillness. Imagine if you got angry and you were told that you need to stop for 60 seconds and just breathe. After those 60 seconds, you would not be angry.
Yeah.
Imagine what 5 minutes do.
It's long after that, isn't it? Like after. It's so true.